everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited today. We are here to talk about Yetis, the crazy Yeti phenomenon that has happened over the last 2 years with 4 different movies that have come out in between 2018 and 2019 about these mythical creatures. And I have a very special guest with me today. My friend Christian is here to help us rank the Yeti movies. So thanks so much for coming on the podcast, Christian.
Thanks for having me, Rachel.
Yes. So since it's your first time on the podcast, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello out there, I'm Christian. I am a hoping to be film critic, kind of hoping. I kind of have like a smaller channel called Dark Star Studios where I sometimes review stuff, but I've mostly now been using Letterboxd a lot. So that's mostly I've been getting.
Well, I'm also a hope to be critic one of these days, so I understand. So that's great. Why do you think that Yetis have all of a sudden become a thing?
I think what probably happened is a lot of it is usually studios, because animation is so closely linked at times. It's probably someone just went, hey, maybe we should do a Yeti movie. And everyone just decided, quick, we're going to make the best one out of those.
Yeah, it's like there was a bet or something.
Or maybe it was like that penguins phrase we had during the 2000s.
And it's turned out pretty well for him as far as critical reception. All 4 of these films all are certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So,
yeah,
pretty good. Some of them have made more money than others, but still. I guess Yetis are, the magic touch as far as the critics.
I guess.
Yeah. So, all right. So what I thought we'd do is I'm going to go through these, and I have it kind of random, I guess. And I'll say where I have it ranked. You'll have it say where you have it ranked. We'll talk a little bit about them. And it's going to be fun. So let us know. These are just our rankings. Let us know your rankings in the comment section, and that'll be really fun. So we are going to start with our stop motion entry that was from this year. We're going to start with Missing Link. Missing Link got an 89% from the critics on Rotten Tomatoes. And what was your overall thoughts about Missing Link, Christian?
I really liked it overall. I thought it was a very charming little feature, I guess. It was a very simplistic little film. I think my biggest issue with it, and this is more coming down to some of the animation at points, is the animation at times, because they're trying so hard to move it normally, like in real life, it comes off very slow motion-y at times. And I just felt like there were points where the script wasn't nearly as strong as it could have been. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I liked the humor. I liked the overall cast and the animation. I just really got into it, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that about the animation, because that was my favorite part about the film was the animation. It was so beautiful and fluid. I mean, I love stop motion and just the attention to detail that it requires. But I wasn't a big fan of this one, actually. I gave it rotten. I'm one of the rotten people. I don't know. I just didn't think the story was very good. I didn't really like the character designs. I thought that I didn't like how he had Susan had this pig nose. And I didn't like how the other guy had a triangle nose. And I don't know, I just didn't think they were very cute or very appealing. And I also just didn't think it was very funny. And the story just didn't do it for me. And especially once they get to to Siberia or wherever it is, to the Yeti, that whole thing, I don't know, I just didn't think it worked at all. And I don't know, I felt like it was Leica trying to be Aardman, and they kind of lost some of their soul, their voice in the attempt. So it's my least favorite of the 4, actually, believe it or not. What about you? Where do you have it ranked?
That's crazy, because that's my second favorite out of the.
Yeah, we have very different lists, which is good. That makes it fun. So it's your number 2. And yeah, my number four. Next up, we're going to talk about Smallfoot. So, what did you think of Smallfoot?
I personally didn't find it very funny, but I really liked the story more.
Mm,
I think the thing that appealed to me the most about it was it's like this movie that's more just about like kind of just questioning your own like reality, kind of like just being your own person and learning about the world like through a different lens. And I'm like, that's kind of an interesting discussion. And then you have like the whole thing of like this villain isn't really a villain. He's just doing all this because he wants to protect his tribe. And I was like, that's actually really appealing. I really like that. So well, I wouldn't say it's the one I like the most. It's the one I was like, that was cute enough for what it was going
hmm
for, I guess.
Yeah, so this has 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I thought this movie was really, really strange. I think the music especially was so odd. Like, it was all over the place. I thought the weird YouTube song was so strange. And like the messaging was really strange and it felt a little bit cynical to me, the messaging. About I don't know, everybody's lying to you and everybody's I don't know, it was weird message for kids, I thought. uh, but
Trust no one.
yeah, yeah, I'm like what? And weird. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not that different than the message in Ralph Breaks the Internet in a way about don't read the comments and sort of the cynical side, but it was really pretty cynical movie. It was very strange, and just the music I thought was so odd, and the weird rapping song about
Oh
everybody
my
is
god.
lying. Like what?
The music was like my least favorite part as
Yeah,
well.
it was so weird. And like one of the songs was sort of Broadway-ish kind of style, and one of them was this rap, and I was like, "What are this going on?" And yeah, so that was weird. But I did really like the world building, the everything being made of ice and how they made everything work, and that was fun.
Yeah.
And I did also I liked the lead character. I thought he was very sweet and a fun character. And I remember thinking the humor was pretty good, and it I think the animation was good. So it's a strange movie. I don't remember what I gave it on Rotten Tomatoes. I'd have to check if I went fresh or rotten on it, but it's like 76%. It's my number three in my ranking. What about you?
Same. Same. Just
Same.
all of
Okay.
it.
Weird thing about Smallfoot is that the voice cast is so strange. Like, why do they have LeBron James in this movie? Like, what?
Because they can.
Yeah, odd. It's just like they put a bunch of people in a hat and we're like, eh. Like, what? Just picking them out. It was
Who's
really
popular right now? Get them.
yeah. So all right. Well, next we are going to talk about Son of Bigfoot, and this also at 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I had kind of a cool experience with this movie because I I don't know, I was feeling really like I had just been very negative, and I just hadn't seen anything I'd liked for quite I felt like for quite a while and then I saw this movie and I thought, oh, that looks terrible. It looks direct to DVD. It doesn't look very good. But I was like, okay. But then I actually watched it and it was so much better than I expected it to be. And maybe part of it is why I kind of have it as high up in my ranking as I do, because it was just such a pleasant surprise. And I felt like I really liked the lead kid. I thought that he was very relatable and really sweet. And I thought as he has to kind of forgive his parents for what they basically lied to him, and he has to develop this relationship with his dad, and I thought that was all really sweet and really well done, and the animation was way better than I expected it to be. I liked the way that they animated his hair. I thought that and also, Bigfoot's fur and everything. The I don't know, it was just there was a sweetness to it that I thought really worked. And I actually really enjoyed the music. I I don't know, I thought it was a fun little movie. And the where it falls down is the villains is very generic. It's sort of a mad scientist kind of.
Yes, he
And
is.
also like the motivation behind his parents doesn't 100% make sense. But I did like the fact that I think it's always good when kids can see that they should give their parents some slack and be willing to sort of forgive them, and that they're human, human beings, and so I think that was a nice message. And I don't know, it was just so much better than I thought it was going to be, and so maybe that's just a weird experience, but it was so exciting to be able to say to people, check this out, give this a shot, and be able to kind of get people to watch it. And most of the people who saw it thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And so I kind of felt like it was my underdog movie of that year. Anyway, I have it at number 2. I just really feel positive about it.
It's actually at number 4, strangely, but
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much agree with you. I was legit like when you told me about it for this, I was like, wait, what? What's that? So I
Yeah.
looked it up and I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm having concerns. But I ended up watching it, and I do agree with you. I liked the whole, this whole like father-son relationship, and just a good chunk of the movie just being them learning about each other and like, learning about their lives and just kind of growing and developing. And, I do agree the villain was so cartoony and
Yeah.
so I'm evil for the sake of evil. And I was just sitting there, I'm like, why do they not want the hair thing? Isn't that but
Yeah.
like I pretty much after a while just kind of didn't get concerned with the whole like story that much and more got into like the characters and the and by the way, this has way better animated animal characters than Wonder Park did.
Oh yeah,
I
for sure.
really
It's better
liked
than
the
Wonder Park
animals
in
more.
every way, I think.
I really liked it overall.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's when I feel like you really get to do something special when you're a critic, is when you can find something that nobody else will see, and then you can tell people, go see it. It's actually good. Like, and I love in Ratatouille when Ego talks about how the new needs friends, and sometimes as a critic you get to be that friend, and that's kind of how I felt with this movie. I felt like I was, because I wrote a review for Rotoscopers, and I was able to get quite, and then I did it for family movie night, and randomly it got a lot of hits. So I don't know, I just felt like I was sort of the little ambassador to this movie, because I think, yeah, people look at it and look at the cover and everything and think, oh, it's going to be like Wonder Park or one of these movies, but it's a really sweet, lovely little movie, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, good. I'm glad. That makes me happy. Okay. So then our final one is the most recent one that just came out in the theaters. It's Abominable. This is from DreamWorks Animation. Their combined work with Pearl Studios in China, and it opens in China this weekend, and I anticipate that it'll do really well in China, I would think. So that'll be interesting to see how that all works. And this movie for me, it's 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, and so it's our second highest as far as that goes. And I was not that convinced by the trailers that it was going to be a good movie. I'm very mixed when it comes to DreamWorks comedies, as
Right.
far as ones I like, and so I wasn't sure about it. But then I went and saw it, and it was such a sweet lovely little movie. I think it had huge heart. I liked the three main characters. I liked the growth that you see from all three of those characters, their relationship to each other. I thought all of the music was beautiful, and the animation was beautiful. The villains kind of have similar problem of Son of Bigfoot, but it was fine. That was fine. I was able to ignore that because everything else was so strong and so sweet. And yeah, it was again much better than expected. So, what do you think about Abominable?
I'm pretty similar, surprisingly. But I think the reason I couldn't get into it maybe as much as I wanted to was pretty much I didn't like that in the second act you have what you think is the villain, but then it's another
Mm,
villain and it's like a twist villain, but not
right.
really a twist villain because it's not really a twist. And I just was like, really? Do we have to put this here? I feel like the first villain worked at least, but I kind of like what they did with that villain near the end of the movie. While the
Hmm.
twist villain, I was just like, okay, we're here. And
Yeah,
I also,
that's fair. I agree
I
with you.
surprisingly didn't like, I can't remember his name, but it was what's his name? He was the one who was on his phone all the time. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
really like him near the beginning, but like I kind of warmed up to him by the end. But I really did like it though. I think I agree with you. It was way better than it had any right to be for what it was.
yeah. It makes me excited to see if hopefully they'll do more collaborations together and we get to see more of that. I was able to sort of look past those villain problems, and it is a fairly generic story as far
Yeah.
as it doesn't. I know it's an interesting thing because it doesn't take the risk that say Smallfoot takes as far as the story, but I think it executes that story really well. And so I don't know. It's an interesting thing. So to me, it was more appealing. But yeah, so it's my number one in my ranking. It's my favorite of these four.
Same. Same.
Yeah.
It's also my number one.
So let's go over our rankings real quick. So in number four, I have Missing Link. Number three, I have Smallfoot. Number two, I have Son of Bigfoot. And number one, I have Abominable. So what about you?
At four, I have Son of Bigfoot. Three is Abominable, not Abominable, Smallfoot. Two is Missing Link, and one is Abominable.
Great. So let us know if you're watching. Let us know what your ranking would be. And if you haven't seen Son of Bigfoot, go see it. I think you will like it. And then give your ranking of the four. And so, yeah, this has been really fun. Thanks for coming on and doing this ranking with me. And we'll have to get together again sometime soon.
I'm just glad you have me. I kind of want to do more collaborations, and I'm excited to see what we will do next.
Yeah, me too, for sure. So how can people follow you, your channel and your social media and all that fun stuff?
I think I'm at Christian Paste one on Twitter right now, and it's just like my normal name on Facebook. My YouTube channel is Dark Star Studios channel because I found there were like three others with the same name.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I'm there. I haven't posted a review in like 3 months, it feels like, but I have the Downton Abbey Ad Astra thing coming up.
Mm.
So, if you are willing to check out my channel, it should be there soon.
I will have that all those links in the description section. So everybody should definitely check Christian's content out. And thanks again. And again, let us know what your ranking would be. And you can follow me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes and YouTube. So make sure that you do that. Give us if you're listening on iTunes, please give your ratings and reviews. Really appreciate that. And if you're listening, watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we really, really appreciate that. And also, if you consider becoming a patron, we do giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. And so check that out. There'll be information in the description. So thanks again, Christian, and we will definitely talk again soon. Bye.
Farewell.